Texas is a state famous for its strange and intriguing stories, and one cannot overlook the Rock Wall, one of the greatest mysteries of the state. Located near Dallas, the city of Rockwall is not only named after something that sounds interesting, but actually refers to a massive underground rock wall system. These walls are not just ordinary boulders. They are made of sandstone and can reach heights of several meters, with a thickness of about half a meter. They run underground, forming a complex network that spans an area of approximately 50 square kilometers. The mystery surrounding the rock wall began in 1851 when a local resident named Wade dug a well and inadvertently discovered a perfect rock wall. This discovery quickly attracted the attention of local residents, and they began to form theories about the origins of these walls. Some people believe they could be remnants of an ancient civilization, while others argue that they are the product of a giant species that once lived here. Stories of giant skeletons also quickly spread, including an 1886 article describing a skeleton so large that it was thought to belong to a giant, with unusual features such as giant eyes and teeth. The legend of the rock wall became even richer when local residents began to circulate rumors that a colossal palace, built by giants, could be lying beneath the ground. These stories created an atmosphere of mystery around the area and attracted many researchers and tourists. However, no one has been able to prove the existence of the giants or the skeletons that people have been gossiping about. Despite the discoveries and theories that may evoke a sense of mystery, some scientists have pointed out that the rock wall is not a product of human creation. According to geologists, these rock walls could be the result of natural processes formed from magma and other geological activities over millions of years. This has led to a heated debate between scientists and those who believe in the legends. Today, Rockwall has become a tourist destination for those wishing to explore the thrilling stories of the rock wall, from theories about giants to modern scientific explanations. Whether a natural phenomenon or a product of imagination, the rock wall remains an indispensable part of Texas's history and culture, proving that sometimes the truth can be just as intriguing as fiction. The year 1886 marked a special chapter in the story of the rock wall when a resident named J.B. Burton accidentally discovered a giant skeleton. The story began when Burton was farming in a field and unexpectedly dug up a large skeleton, described as being gigantic with strange features. This discovery attracted the attention of the local community, and an expedition was organized to search for more mysterious relics in the area. Hundreds of residents gathered, equipped with tools such as picks, shovels, and hammers, to explore underground together. The expedition quickly became a major event, with many eager participants joining in. As the mining team delved deeper underground, they discovered a large chamber measuring 60 feet long and 100 feet wide, featuring glistening black stone columns. Within this chamber, they found a gigantic iron chest that no one could move, as well as a 25-foot-long iron bed and a 12-foot-long battle axe weighing 75 pounds. These discoveries led many to believe that this was a palace of giants that once lived in Rockwall, raising questions about the origins and history of the area. However, the story did not stop there. On June 11, 1886, a local newspaper published news of another discovery, further adding to the mystery of the rock wall. Another group of explorers uncovered a massive iron door, and when they opened it, they found a gigantic iron pot along with skeletons and skulls inside. One of the explorers, Dr. Wiggins, could hardly believe his eyes when he saw these strange relics. They discovered that the skeletons might belong to victims of a giant cannibal who had lived in this chamber. As the events grew more mysterious and thrilling, doubts were raised about the reliability of these stories. None of the explorers could provide clear evidence for their findings, leading many to question whether the tales of the rock wall were merely part of legend. While these discoveries may have created an aura of mystery around the rock wall, many believe these stories are simply products of imagination and the excitement of the local community. The tale of the rock wall and its discoveries has become a part of Texas folklore, making it not just a location but also a source of inspiration for thrilling stories. These narratives are not just anecdotes, but reflect humanity's quest for the mysterious and the miraculous in life. This shows that regardless of what the truth may be, these stories will continue to captivate and stimulate human imagination for generations to come. Despite the intriguing stories about the rock wall attracting significant attention, scientists have offered alternative explanations for the origins of these rock walls. Numerous studies have been conducted to determine whether these structures were indeed built by humans. Richard Bowles, a geologist, was one of the first to study the rock wall in 1874. He did not view these rock walls as man-made structures, but believed they were products of natural processes. According to him, these rock walls formed from magma that was forced into cracks and solidified over time. The development of scientific theories has led to many lively debates. In 1901, Robert T. Hill from the United States Geological Survey added to Bowles' theory by suggesting that these rock walls were the result of sedimentary dikes. He explained that this process occurs when sediments fill cracks in the Earth's layer and then harden into sandstone. Further studies in 1909 by geologist Sid Page also confirmed that the cracks in these walls were too perfect to be the work of human hands. In 2013, a television program called America Unearthed explored the rock wall with the participation of geologist John G. Mann from the University of Texas. Mann used paleomagnetic methods to examine the walls, and the results indicated that they were entirely consistent with the Earth's magnetic field. This suggests that these walls may never have been moved by human hands, confirming that they are indeed a natural phenomenon. Despite the differences between scientific theories and mysterious tales, the rock wall continues to hold a special allure for visitors and explorers. Today, when you visit the Rockwall County Historical Museum, you can admire a section of the wall that has been reconstructed from actual excavations. The museum not only displays large sandstone blocks, but also presents geological theories explaining their origins. They also leave space for the mysterious stories surrounding the rock wall, asserting that no matter what the truth may be, these tales remain an essential part of the local culture. Ultimately, the story of the rock wall is not just a tale about a natural phenomenon. It also reflects how people seek meaning and connection to the past. From theories about giants to modern scientific explanations, the rock wall has become a symbol of wonder and mystery, reminding us that sometimes the truth can be just as intriguing as fiction. Monaghan Sandhills is one of the notable areas in Texas, with sand dunes reaching heights of up to 70 feet. These yellow and white sand strips have created a beautiful yet mysterious landscape that was once the territory of the Comanche people. The sand dunes are not just a simple landscape. They also play an important role in the history and culture of indigenous tribes. The Comanche lived and hunted here for centuries, using the dunes as a shelter and a strategy in confrontations with enemies. The backdrop of Monaghan Sandhills has given rise to many stories and legends. According to legend, these sand dunes were said to be a refuge for Comanche during their wars with the U.S. Army, particularly in the fight against Buffalo soldiers in the mid-19th century. This area provided them with excellent hiding spots, allowing them to monitor their enemies from the tops of the dunes and use the terrain to outwit their opponents. The constant movement of the sand dunes also created an unpredictable environment, making it difficult for enemies to track and detect them. The story of a lost caravan in 1918 has created a particularly intriguing legend in this area. The caravan set out from Fort Worth to El Paso, but encountered numerous difficulties along the way. Many tales surrounding the disappearance of the caravan have become legends about the mysteries of sand and wind. It is said that the caravan became lost in the dunes and never returned, leaving a significant question mark in the minds of survivors. Their disappearance is not just a story, but also a symbol of the harshness and mystery of this land. While the stories about Monaghan Sandhills can be quite thrilling, the reality is that this area has retained its pristine beauty. The shifting sand dunes are an integral part of the ecosystem of this land, creating a habitat for many species of animals and plants. Each year, Monaghan Sandhills attracts thousands of visitors who come to explore its natural beauty and learn about the region's history. With its rich stories and long history, Monaghan Sandhills is not only a wonderful destination, but also an important cultural heritage of Texas. The legends surrounding this area continue to live on in the hearts of the people, enriching the culture and history of this land. The story of the Comanche and the lost caravans will always be a part of the mysterious allure of Monaghan Sandhills, making it an ideal stop for those who love exploration and learning about the past. The story of the missing wagon train in Monaghan's is a legendary mystery that has captured the attention of many people over generations. Around 1918, a group of migrant families decided to journey from Fort Worth to the El Paso area of Texas, hoping to find a new life there. Among the members of the caravan, one prominent woman was related to the editor of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. She carried with her a piece of blue fabric that her mother had given her, intending to sew a dress as a connection to her sister living in El Paso. This was not just a gift, but also a symbol of family affection and cherished memories she wanted to preserve. Additionally, there were rumors that the wagon train was carrying gold and silver, making the story even more enticing. However, after departing Fort Worth, the wagon train and everyone on board mysteriously disappeared in the grasslands. Search efforts were immediately launched after they went missing, extending for many years, even into the 1920s, but no one found any clues about the caravan. Gradually, the story of their disappearance was forgotten until a cattle rancher living in Monahans accidentally discovered traces of the wagon train. In the 1930s, while searching for cattle among the dunes, this rancher climbed to the top of a dune for a better view. As he stepped up, he felt his foot hit something hard. Looking down, he was astonished to find a wagon well exposed beneath the sand. He continued searching and found many other traces, including fragments of the wagon and arrows, indicating that the wagon train may have been attacked. Additionally, he discovered a large chest containing various valuable items, including the blue fabric he had seen earlier. When he returned to town, the rancher opened the chest in front of many witnesses. They found valuable items and began discussing the possibility of searching for more artifacts in the sand. News of this discovery spread quickly, attracting many locals to explore the area where the wagon train had disappeared. They found everything from wagon fragments to arrows and old rifles. However, just a few days later, the sand buried all traces of the wagon train again, making further searches more challenging. Although there is no specific documentation regarding the disappearance of this wagon train, the story has become an integral part of Texas folklore. When an editor of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram heard the tale, he realized it might be the caravan his relatives had traveled with. Upon investigation, he discovered that the blue fabric in the chest was indeed the piece that the mother had kept as a memento. Ultimately, the legend of the missing wagon train became a classic story in the hearts of the people of Monahans, reminding them of the wonders of the past and the mysteries yet to be uncovered. After the wagon train vanished, search efforts continued relentlessly. Families and local groups joined together in hopeful searches, but no one found any clues. Expeditions went on for many years, extending into the 1920s, but no one located any trace of the caravan. The dunes at Monahans were known to potentially hold many historical artifacts, yet no one could pinpoint the location of the wagon train. Then one day in the 1930s, a cattle rancher accidentally discovered traces of the caravan while searching for cattle among the dunes. As he climbed the dune to get a better view, his foot struck something hard. Bending down, he realized it was a wagon wheel that had been exposed. Continuing to search around, he found more signs, including fragments of the wagon and arrows, indicating that the caravan may have been attacked. He also discovered a large chest containing many valuable items, including the blue fabric. When the rancher brought the chest back to town, a crowd gathered to see the strange discovery. When he opened the chest, everyone was astonished to find numerous valuable objects inside, especially the blue fabric. News of this discovery spread rapidly, drawing the attention of many locals. They began flocking to the dune area to search for more items before the sand covered all traces. However, just a few days later, the sand buried all evidence of the caravan again, making the search even more challenging. Although no specific artifacts were found, the story of the missing wagon train became a part of the local folklore. People began recounting tales of the wagon train, and many believe that the remnants of the caravan still lie deep in the sand, waiting to be discovered one day. Although there are no historical documents specifically recording the disappearance of this wagon train, the story has become an important part of Texas folklore. People still remember this tale and hope that one day, traces of the wagon train will be found, shedding light on the mysteries of the past. The search is not only an adventure, but also a way to connect with the history and culture of this land. As the story of the missing wagon train in Monahans gained popularity, many began to discuss its origins and the truth behind it. While there are numerous stories of other wagon trains that disappeared in this area, no historical documentation specifically records this particular caravan. It is not uncommon for wagon trains to encounter difficulties or even disappear during their journeys from East to West Texas. The harsh terrain and adverse weather conditions have caused many caravans to struggle and even vanish in the vast grasslands. The Monahans area is famous for its sand dunes, which may conceal many historical artifacts. This adds to the allure of the story of the missing wagon train, as people believe there may be remnants of other wagon trains still hidden in the sand. However, the lack of specific evidence regarding the disappearance of this caravan in press articles or historical records has led to skepticism about the tale. In 1918, relations between the Comanche people and the settler residents became more peaceful. Contrary to the conflicts of the late 19th century, the story of the Comanche attack on this wagon train is no longer considered plausible. This has led many to doubt the authenticity of the story, suggesting it may just be a legend woven from real accounts of other wagon trains. Nonetheless, many still believe that the story of the missing wagon train may contain some truth. They think there might still be remnants of a wagon train somewhere in the sand, filled with valuable items like gold and silver. The tales of the missing wagon train have become a part of the folklore, reminding people of the hardships that migrants face in search of new life in this land. The story of the missing wagon train in Monahans is not just a legend. It also reflects the challenges that settlers had to overcome. They faced harsh natural conditions, dangers from the environment, and conflicts with indigenous tribes. This makes the story even more compelling, not only as an exciting tale, but also as a lesson about human resilience and courage. In the mysterious tales of Texas, one cannot overlook the legend of the black-eyed children, beings that appear as children but have completely black eyes. These stories originated in Abilene, Texas, and have become a part of modern folklore. These creatures are described as having pale skin and an ordinary appearance. But when one looks into their eyes, the abnormality evokes a sense of dread. This legend is believed to have originated from an article by Brian Bethel, a Texas reporter, in 1998. One evening, while parked near a movie theater, he encountered two children wearing black hoodies, who asked him for a ride home. When he realized they were lying about the movie times, he began to feel uneasy. Ultimately, he decided to leave, while the two children knocked on his car window, insisting that they could not enter unless invited. This is considered the first recorded instance of the black-eyed children legend. After Bethel's account, the legend of the black-eyed children quickly spread. Many people began sharing similar experiences with these beings, further solidifying the story. One notable account comes from Deanna M., a resident of Amarillo, Texas. During a visit to her mother, she also encountered two children with black eyes. They asked to come inside to use the phone, but when she looked into their eyes, she felt a surge of fear and slammed the door shut, calling the police. By the time the police arrived, the two children had vanished, leaving Deanna with an eerie sense of mystery. The legend of the black-eyed children not only instills fear in many, but also conveys a cautionary message about trusting one's instincts. These experiences, while possibly just fictional stories, still create a powerful allure. From initial encounters to subsequent tales, they all highlight the mystery and terror that the black-eyed children evoke. Whether you believe in their existence or not, it is undeniable that this story has made a profound mark on modern culture and continues to captivate those who love exploring the enigmatic. The story of the water tower in Groom, Texas, is a quintessential example of the creativity and uniqueness found in roadside attractions. Although there is no precise information regarding when this water tower was first established, many sources indicate that it has been in existence since the early 20th century. Originally, this water tower was built to hold water and serve the community. However, by 1980, the town of Groom acquired the water tower through an auction and discovered that it was no longer capable of holding water. This led to a rather peculiar situation for the town. They had a water tower that served no functional purpose. With the water tower rendered useless, the town of Groom decided to sell it. A local businessman named Ralph Bren, who owned the Tower Fuel Stop gas station, purchased the water tower with the aim of promoting his brand. Instead of simply painting the name Groom or Tower Fuel Stop on the tower, Ralph decided to turn it into an eye-catching centerpiece for his gas station. He had the words Britain, USA painted on the tower and tilted it at a 10-degree angle, creating an amusing image as if the water tower was about to topple onto the gas station. Ralph's creative act garnered significant attention for his gas station and attracted many tourists eager to explore. However, the gas station did not last forever. In the 1990s, it burned down and closed. Nevertheless, the leaning water tower remained standing, becoming a quirky symbol of the area. The image of the water tower, with the words Britain, USA, and its tilted position, has created an intriguing story, prompting many people to stop for photos and learn more about its history. The presence of the leaning water tower has become an indispensable part of Groom's tourism culture. It is not just an architectural structure, but also a narrative about creativity and how people can transform an ordinary object into a unique attraction. Stories like that of the water tower remind us that sometimes the simplest things can bring joy and delight to life. When you visit Groom, Texas, be sure to stop and admire the leaning water tower, not only to take interesting photos, but also to appreciate the creativity and character of the local community. Such stories enrich the travel experience and stand as a testament to the power of simple yet meaningful things. This water tower, although no longer serving its original function, continues to live on in the memories of those who have visited and appreciated its whimsical charm. The legend of La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, is one of the eeriest tales in the folklore of Texas and Mexico. According to the legend, La Llorona is a cursed witch, often appearing in the form of a giant owl with bright yellow eyes that reflect the moonlight. Although there are many different versions of the story, most agree that La Llorona was once a beautiful woman living in a small community who practiced white magic. However, she was misunderstood as a dark witch and was put on trial, leading to her tragic death. As she was burned alive, La Llorona returned from the dead with a heart full of resentment and a determination to take revenge on the community that betrayed her. Now, she wanders in the darkness, seeking those who harmed her and hunting lost children. She is often described as a mysterious creature, taking the shape of an owl but retaining human features, with long hair and piercing eyes. Stories of La Llorona often say that she emits enchanting sounds such as singing, weeping, and calling, drawing in anyone who hears her into her trap. La Llorona is not only a horror story, but also a symbol of concerns for the safety of children in the community. Local residents often warn their children not to go outside at night, to avoid attracting La Llorona's attention. According to the legend, if you hear her crying at night, it is a sign that you may be in danger. There are ways to protect oneself from her attacks, such as hanging a string with 7 knots outside the door or using salt and chili to ward her off. However, the story of La Llorona is not merely a legend. It also reflects cultural values and fears within the community. It illustrates the anxiety surrounding wrongfully accused women and the harshness of social justice. In fact, the tale of La Llorona has become a part of Latin American cultural history and is often recounted in families as a lesson for children. In 1975, a strange event occurred in Robstown, Texas, raising doubts about the authenticity of the story. Residents in the area began reporting sightings of a bizarre creature described as a bird with a human face. These reports quickly spread and attracted media attention. However, when people started questioning the existence of La Llorona, a children's prank temporarily silenced the legend. When examining the story surrounding La Llorona, it is clear that this legend is not just a ghost story, but also an important part of the culture and traditions of the local people. This legend, along with other tales, continues to live on in the minds of the people and has become part of Texas's cultural heritage. Whether or not you believe in the existence of La Llorona, it is undeniable that this story has left a profound impression on those who have heard it. The slogan, "Don't Mess with Texas," has become an essential part of Texas folklore. The origin of this slogan began with an anti-littering campaign launched by the Texas Department of Transportation in 1985. The goal of the campaign was to reduce litter along the roads, particularly targeting the demographic of young people aged 18 to 35, who often drove trucks and had a habit of tossing trash on the roadside. This slogan was born from a simple yet unique idea. A representative from an advertising agency came up with the concept after seeing a pile of trash on the roadside and recalling his mother's saying about keeping a room clean. He realized that the word mess was more fitting for the littering situation, and thus, "Don't Mess with Texas" was created. Since its launch, The campaign has garnered significant attention and produced impressive results, with littering rates dropping by 72% within just 3 years. From an anti-littering slogan, "Don't mess with Texas," quickly became a symbol of Texas pride. This slogan not only appeared on billboards and in media campaigns, but also became part of popular culture. Many people have printed the slogan on T-shirts, and it is often heard at sporting events, especially football games, as a way to express pride in their home state. Today, this slogan is not just an anti-litter campaign, but also a declaration of love for one's homeland and pride in Texas culture. It serves as a reminder that Texas is not only a large state, but also a place where residents take the protection of the environment and the preservation of the natural beauty of the land very seriously. This slogan, with its roots in a specific issue, has become an indispensable part of Texas's cultural heritage, illustrating the power of language and how a simple idea can create a lasting impact. The slogan, "Don't mess with Texas," has become an indispensable part of the culture of the people of Texas, exemplifying the creativity and ability to connect ideas with the community. It demonstrates that sometimes small things can have a profound impact, highlighting the power of folklore and pride in one's homeland. The Oklahoma Panhandle is one of the unique and strange parts of Oklahoma, located in the northwestern corner of the state. Shaped like a forgotten puzzle piece, the Oklahoma Panhandle stretches about 166 miles, forming a flat and windy expanse where lush green fields and rolling grasslands stretch endlessly. This area lies between Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, and Kansas, making it a little-known and seldom-mentioned spot on travel maps. The Oklahoma Panhandle is famous not only for its beautiful landscapes, but also for stories of survival through the hardships of rural life. This land has faced many challenges, particularly during the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, when dust storms forced many people to abandon their homes. Many residents sought to survive and rebuild their lives under harsh conditions. These stories have contributed to the unique identity of the Oklahoma Panhandle. Although this region may seem monotonous with its vast empty fields, it actually holds its own distinct beauty and memorable experiences. The local people here uphold traditional values and a strong sense of community. They have formed close-knit relationships and created a harmonious living environment with nature. The Oklahoma Panhandle is a place where you can find peace and feel the love that the residents have for their land. When you visit the Oklahoma Panhandle, you will not only experience stunning landscapes, but also have the opportunity to learn about the culture and history of the area. The small farms, tight-knit communities, and memories of the Dust Bowl era will create a unique travel experience. This is a place where you can sense the vitality and resilience of the people in overcoming adversity. With its expansive fields and tranquil atmosphere, the Oklahoma Panhandle is not just a geographical location, but also a part of American cultural heritage. This land offers us lessons in resilience and courage, reminding us that life is not solely about hardships, but also about beautiful memories and vibrant stories. The Oklahoma Panhandle is an area with a rich and complex history, beginning with the Paleo-Indian period around 8450 BC. The first inhabitants of this region left their mark in the development of culture and society. However, to gain a deeper understanding of the formation of the Oklahoma Panhandle, we must consider the significant political changes that occurred in the 19th century. During this time, the region underwent multiple transfers of ownership, first belonging to New Spain, then to Mexico, and finally becoming part of the Republic of Texas after Texas declared independence in 1836. This change was not merely a matter of renaming, but also involved complex political issues and interests. Texas joined the United States in 1845, bringing with it not only cultural pride, but also the institution of slavery. However, this was also the point at which Texas encountered difficulties. According to the Missouri Compromise, slavery was prohibited north of the latitude 36 degrees 30 minutes. The northern part of Texas crossed this latitude, leading Texas to relinquish a portion of its territory if it wished to maintain slavery. In 1850, Texas decided to cede all land north of latitude 36 degrees 30 minutes to the federal government. This resulted in the severance of the Oklahoma Panhandle and left behind a strip of land without an owner. This area, known as No Man's Land, became a lawless region where outcasts, criminals, and tax evaders congregated. This period was considered a wild time, governed only by the rules one could impose upon oneself. However, this state of affairs did not last forever. In 1890, the U.S. Congress decided to incorporate this area into the newly established Oklahoma Territory. When Oklahoma became a state in 1907, the Oklahoma Panhandle was included with the state, although no one had any real intention creating it. Although the Oklahoma Panhandle is not a prominent area on the map, it holds stories of survival and a unique identity. The simple lives here have gone through many ups and downs, from the first settlers to complex political struggles. Today, as you explore the Oklahoma Panhandle, you'll find that every mile carries its own historical and cultural story. In particular, the Oklahoma Panhandle is not just an empty land, but also a place intertwined with the legends and myths of the local residents. Stories of the first people and their struggles with nature have created an intriguing atmosphere for this region. Take a moment to reflect on what has happened here over millions of years, and you will see that the Oklahoma Panhandle is not just a part of a map, but also a part of American cultural history. Lanite is one of the rarest and most unique gemstones in the world, found only in Llano County, Texas. This stone is primarily formed from blue quartz, potassium feldspar, and mica, providing attractive beauty with its sparkling crystals. With its unique characteristics, lanite not only captures the attention of geologists, but also enchants many nature and art enthusiasts. Named after Llano County, where it was discovered, lanite exists in only one place on this planet. According to research, this stone is formed from a large magma body that rose from the Earth's interior and cooled, creating minerals such as quartz and feldspar. Notably, the blue color of the quartz in lanite comes from tiny rutile fibers within it, creating a special and unique sparkling effect for this stone. The Llano Uplift area, where lanite was discovered, is a place where geological processes have occurred over millions of years, resulting in ancient and rare stones. The Precambrian period, during which lanite formed, witnessed the transformation of the Earth, from the creation of sedimentary layers to collisions between tectonic plates. These activities helped to form and expose beautiful and unique stones like lanite. Although lanite has been known since the early 20th century, it wasn't until 1931 that the name lanite was officially assigned to the stone by Edward Holland Hargis, a renowned Texas geologist. He recognized the beauty of lanite and decided that this was the appropriate name for this unique stone. Since then, lanite has become a symbol of Texas nature, an essential part of the cultural and historical heritage of this region. Lanite is not only popular in the gemstone industry, but also used to create decorative products such as tabletops, tiles, and jewelry. It brings natural beauty and luxury, enhancing the living and working spaces of people. If you want to admire the beauty of lanite, visit the Lanite Dike located about 9 miles north of Llano, where you can see lanite in its natural splendor. In summary, lanite is not just a stone, but also a part of Texas's geological history, a testament to the wonders of nature and its enduring vitality. Take pride in knowing that such a unique stone as lanite originates from the land you inhabit. It is not only a beautiful item, but also a precious heritage, bringing with it intriguing stories about the history and culture of Texas. The UFO incident in Levelland, Texas, that occurred on November 2nd and 3rd, 1957, has become one of the strangest events in U.S. UFO history. The small town of Levelland, with a population of around 10,000, was shaken by a series of reports of bright lights and unidentified flying objects. Residents in the area claimed to have seen sparkling lights and experienced strange phenomena, such as their cars suddenly losing power. This made the incident one of the most prominent and credible UFO stories in the minds of Texans. It all began when two farm workers, Pedro Ceso and Joe, called the Levelland Police Department around 11 p.m. They reported seeing a strange object flying near the road they were driving on, and the engine of their truck suddenly stopped working. Pedro jumped out of the vehicle and lay on the ground in fear, while Joe remained inside. According to Pedro, the object flew over their truck with a loud noise like thunder, creating a strong wind and blinding light. After the object departed, their vehicle started normally again. Shortly after, another resident named Jim Wheeler also reported seeing a similar object blocking the road while he was driving. When his car stalled, he got out to check, and the object left, allowing his vehicle to operate again. This situation created a repeating pattern, as many other residents reported seeing lights and similar phenomena. In total, the police department received 15 calls reporting UFO sightings at night, and several local officials confirmed they had also seen strange lights. The incident quickly attracted the attention of UFO researchers, leading to an investigation by the U.S. Air Force's Project Blue Book. The investigation team arrived in Levelland and interviewed several witnesses. However, when they suggested that the strange phenomena could be caused by an electrical storm, many UFO researchers disagreed with this explanation. They pointed out that no storm occurred at that time, and many believed something more mysterious was taking place. Despite being dismissed by some, the UFO incident in Levelland remains an intriguing topic for those interested in studying unusual phenomena. It raises questions about what really happened that night. Was it merely a coincidence, or was there something strange and inexplicable? This case remains one of the memorable stories in UFO history, reminding us that not everything we see can be explained by science. Remember that even if many people do not believe in UFOs, the story of the incident in Levelland lives on the hearts of those who love to seek the truth and the mysterious. It serves as a prime example of humanity's constant search for wonder in everyday life, and this story reflects not only curiosity, but also a part of our culture and psyche regarding the unknown. The Oklahoma Panhandle, with its modest size but rich history, has become an indispensable part of the Oklahoma map. This area is known for its picturesque natural landscapes, vast fields, and strong winds. It is an ideal place to learn about rural life and local culture. Although it is not a famous tourist destination, the Oklahoma Panhandle holds fascinating stories about life and existence. When you explore this area, you will notice that the Oklahoma Panhandle is not just an empty stretch of land. It is a place that has witnessed human survival through the difficult challenges of nature. Over the years, this region has faced dust storms, particularly during the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. Local residents learned to adapt to this harsh environment and sought to survive. The Oklahoma Panhandle is also known for its agricultural and ranching activities. The people here take pride in their farming traditions, and many families have lived and worked in this area for generations. They uphold traditional values and build a tight-knit community where everyone is always willing to help each other in times of need. Not just a land of agriculture, the Oklahoma Panhandle is also a repository of many stories about unique legends and customs. The residents share stories of their ancestors and experiences that have helped them overcome challenges. This creates a warm and friendly atmosphere where people can find a connection to their past and culture. For those who love exploration, the Oklahoma Panhandle is an interesting place to experience American rural life. When you visit, take the time to learn about the history and culture of this area. The friendly locals and vivid stories will make you feel like you have become part of the community. The Oklahoma Panhandle is not just a stopover. It is a journey into the past, where you can feel the vitality and resilient spirit of people overcoming adversity. The UFO incident in Levelland, Texas, that took place on November 2nd and 3rd, 1957, has become one of the strange and controversial events in U.S. UFO history. In a brief period of about 2 hours, there were numerous reports from local residents about seeing strange lights and an object in the sky, accompanied by phenomena such as cars suddenly losing power. This incident attracted the attention of the media and UFO researchers, sparking lively discussions about what really happened. The story began when two farm workers, Pedro Ceso and Joe, called the Levelland Police Department around 11 p.m. to report that they had seen a bright light and an oval-shaped object flying near the road they were driving on. According to Ceso, when the object flew by, the engine of their truck suddenly stopped working, and Ceso jumped out of the vehicle in fear. After the object left, their truck started normally again, creating a repeating pattern in the reports from residents. Throughout the night, many others also reported seeing strange lights and experiencing their cars stalling. In total, the police department received approximately 15 calls from local residents, along with confirmations from several officials, including the sheriff and the fire chief. Notably, the coincidence between the reports of lights and the stalling vehicles raised many questions about whether this was a mysterious phenomenon or simply a random coincidence. The public interest attracted Project Blue Book, a UFO investigation unit of the U.S. Air Force, to the case. However, their investigation faced criticism for being incomplete and lacking thoroughness. They only interviewed a small number of witnesses and overlooked many important reports, leading to doubts about the accuracy and reliability of their final conclusions. Some UFO researchers pointed out that Project Blue Book rushed to hypothesize that the phenomenon was merely an electrical storm or other atmospheric events without truly considering the witnesses and evidence they had gathered. Despite the diverse explanations for this UFO phenomenon, the story of the UFO incident in Abilene continues to draw attention and controversy. Believers in UFOs argue that this is a prominent case in UFO history, while skeptics claim it is merely a normal natural phenomenon. However, one thing is undeniable. This event sparked many interesting discussions about the mysteries of the universe and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. To this day, the UFO incident in Abilene remains one of the strangest events in American history, reminding us that there is still much to explore and explain in the world around us. This story not only captivates the interest of UFO enthusiasts, but also plays an important role in American folklore and the collective mindset about the wonders of everyday life. Aurora, Texas, is a small town with a mysterious story related to a famous UFO crash that occurred in April 1897. The tale begins when a balloon believed to be from another planet fell in the area, drawing attention from the community and the media. This legend was documented in an article by S.E. Hayden in the Dallas Morning News, claiming that the incident took place before any human-made aircraft was invented, making scientific explanations challenging. According to reports one morning, a balloon crashed into a windmill belonging to Judge J.S. Proctor. The collision destroyed the windmill, and when locals arrived at the scene, they discovered a small body described as not of this world. This body was believed to have come from the planet Mars, and according to a military officer who arrived at the site, the incident attracted significant attention. Rather than preserving the body for study, the residents decided to bury it in the local cemetery and dispose of the wreckage of the UFO in a nearby well. The story continued to evolve when, in 1935, a resident named Broly Oates acquired Proctor's land and decided to use the well. After cleaning out the well, Oates discovered some strange debris and subsequently developed arthritis, which he believed was due to contamination from the alien body. This led to much speculation and conjecture about the UFO crash, causing people to question the reality of the story. Over the years, several organizations like MUFON have attempted to investigate the incident. They found some older residents who still remember the UFO crash and discovered a gravestone shaped like a flying saucer. However, they were not allowed to excavate to examine it. When they returned later, the gravestone had disappeared, leaving no trace of it, leading to further doubts about the accuracy of the incident. Some skeptics argue that this story might simply be a publicity stunt aimed at attracting attention to a struggling town. They suggest that journalist S.E. Hayden may have fabricated the tale to rekindle interest in Aurora. Indeed, during that time, many towns created stories about unusual phenomena to attract tourists and generate profit. This legend has become an important part of Texas folklore, reminding us of the power of wondrous stories in shaping the history and identity of a locality. Whether or not the story of the UFO crash in Aurora actually occurred, it continues to live on in the minds of the locals and attracts the interest of visitors. Today, Aurora has a historical marker near the cemetery, documenting this story as an essential part of Texas's cultural heritage. This tale is not just a legend, but also a testament to human creativity and imagination, showing that even in the 1890s, people understood that a good story could help a small town become famous. The UFO incident in Abilene attracted the attention of many and sparked debates about whether a strange phenomenon truly occurred. When researching the case, it is important to recognize that not only were there eyewitnesses, but other factors could also have influenced the events. Many believe atmospheric phenomena may have caused confusion and led to inaccurate reporting. Nevertheless, the truth is that there is no specific evidence proving that natural phenomena cause these unusual events. The case becomes more intriguing when considering the connection between the lights in the sky and the stalling of vehicles. When some people saw the strange lights, their car engines suddenly stopped, and after the lights disappeared, their vehicles functioned normally again. This has led many researchers to question whether it was an inexplicable phenomenon. Although Project Blue Book suggested that this phenomenon might be related to an electrical storm, Many remain skeptical about the accuracy of this explanation. The investigation by Project Blue Book was criticized for being inadequate and for not interviewing enough witnesses. This raised a significant question about the accuracy and reliability of the final report. If other eyewitnesses were overlooked, could there be additional information that we are unaware of? This opened up a discussion about how strange phenomena might exist and how humans seek to explain them. Despite the various interpretations of the UFO incident in Levelland, one undeniable fact is that this case has garnered considerable interest from the community. Stories about UFOs are not only part of folklore, but also a part of modern life, reminding us of the mysteries and what we have yet to explore. Whether it is a natural phenomenon or not, the UFO incident in Levelland remains an interesting tale, showing that humans are always in search of wonder in life. The legend of the UFO crash in Aurora, Texas, has become an important part of American folklore. The story began in April 1897 when a balloon was said to have collided with a windmill belonging to Judge J.S. Proctor. When residents arrived at the scene, they discovered a small body believed to be not of this world. This made Aurora the center of attention in those years, with many curious about the existence of extraterrestrial life. According to reports, after the collision occurred, the townspeople decided to bury the body in the cemetery and dispose of the wreckage of the UFO in a nearby well. This action not only shocked many, but also raised questions about the story's authenticity. A few years later, in 1935, a local resident purchased Proctor's land and decided to use the well, but while cleaning it out, he discovered some strange debris. The development of the story continued as organizations like MUFON attempted to investigate the incident. They found a gravestone shaped like a flying saucer, but were not allowed to excavate it for examination. This led to many doubts about the authenticity of the event. When MUFON returned, they discovered that the gravestone had disappeared, leaving no trace of it, which raised questions about whether someone or something had concealed evidence. The story of the UFO crash in Aurora continues to attract the attention of tourists and researchers alike. Today, there is a historical marker near the cemetery that documents the story as an essential part of Texas's cultural heritage. This tale is not only a legend, but also a testament to human creativity and imagination in exploring the mysteries of life. Whether or not the incident actually occurred, this story has become an important part of culture and history, reminding us that people are always in search of wonder and intrigue in their daily lives. It also demonstrates that a good story can help a small town gain fame, creating interest and curiosity among people. Aurora, with its tale of the UFO crash, continues to live in the hearts of its residents and attract the attention of visitors, ensuring that this legend endures over time.